Oh, good morning, parents, and a very Merry Christmas to you. Let me see. I didn't realize how dark the screen was until the video went live. Hello from my dark alley. You will have to forgive me. I am trying to make a light, but I'm restricted. So work with me, please. Ignore the darkness and just listen to what I say. Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, prosperous New Year. My prayer is that the steps that you take in 2019 overspill into 2020, and because of the things you do in 2019, you are able to see success in 2020. All right. Okay. So this is a special one for parents. Nana is over there. I want parents to understand a simple thing. Children are home. They are home for Christmas. Yes, Christmas is supposed to be revision, especially for kids going to do exams. But also, it's supposed to be time you spend with the kids to help orient them, rebalance them, restore mental order, and compensate for disorder, because after one term in school, for most of the exam candidates, they will experience mental disorder. It is a little bit much for even adults who work in schools that first term. Particularly for children, very difficult because it's a long term. And to add to that, there's added pressure of mock exams, of every teacher demanding that every kid gives them everything they have. When the English teacher has taken everything, the math teacher also wants to take everything, just so we are clear about what your kids experience in school. The English teacher wants everything. The math teacher wants everything. The science teacher wants everything. Every teacher wants everything. How many everythings does your child have to give? Not many. Not many. There isn't that many everythings that your kid can give. And for that reason, you will find a lot of kids are torn between the pressures from various directions. It is really disorienting for a lot of them. Many of them struggle to cope. And if you don't realize this simple thing and you don't offer them the support they need, come March, February, April, just before the exam hits is where your kid will unbuckle. And when people allow kids to unbuckle, it really is devastating. You see kids who've worked so hard the whole year, who've kept it together up to that point, finally lose it, and they lose their plot spectacularly. I have known very good A-star candidates who've actually ended up not writing the exam at all because of this. And for that reason, I want to take a few minutes and I want to explain this to you. I want you to understand what we've got to do and what we've got to work with, so that you take a few minutes this Christmas period, whilst you're eating, whilst you're drinking, to spend it with your children, just so your kids can tell you what they are experiencing. I want you to be able to get through to your kids that you are on the same team with them, that you support them, that you will help them, you understand. And if you have experiences from when you were a kid yourself, it's a good time to make connections with your kid and to build relationships with them. If you are able to ride the storm together, you will be better for it as a group. If you support your kid well in this period, they will remember it for a long time. You know, those good grades you want, they don't come magically, by the way. You need to understand. It takes work. No, not just paying tutors. No. Not just asking other people to help your kids. No. Other people help you to help your kid. Please understand, you are the chief custodian of your kid's educational career. I've told you. You are the primary consultant, and the rest of us help you to do that job. And I need you to understand that very clearly. If you find that your teenager, your child, exam student is a bit moody over Christmas, pull that kid to one side and take that opportunity to have a conversation. Find out what the problem is, because there probably is a problem. Find out what is depressing them, because a lot of the kids, excuse you. You need to respect yourself. Apologies, guys. You need to understand that for many of these kids, the mood changes are cries for help. A lot of kids come over the Christmas period praying and hoping that you will notice their struggles. They've struggled since September. You were busy working. You are now currently at home, not going to work. Please open your eyes and have a look at some of the desperate pleas that the kids will throw out to you. There'll be loads of signals. You will find kids either eat excessively or don't eat enough. All those things are things to watch out for. Become overly talkative or don't talk at all still indicators of stress. Might be a little standoffish, or might want to do this, and want never to stop and have a dull moment. That is also one you need to be aware of. I need you to understand the things that are indicators. Matilda, good morning, sis. I want you to understand the way your kids behave. So for most people, the cryy kid is obvious, but the noisy kid might also be hiding behind the same problem. I would have been the kid who would be noisy, excessively noisy. Making noise, screaming, shouting, playing music very loud is my way of indicating stress. If you are not a competent parent, you will look at me and think all is well. You will look at my desperate desire to make noise, to drown my pain as enjoyment, and it's not enjoyment. It is me saying that it's a bit much for my brain. And so I want to quieten the voices in my own head. That's the reason why I put the music loud. I want to drown out what is internally generated so that I don't hear myself. And it's a very difficult thing to do. Actually, the louder you scream, the louder it screams. And that's why the volume is ridiculously high. Do you know? Are you aware? Can you tell these stress indicators? Watch out for those kids. I said the ones who are moody, they are easy to spot. But the overly happy might also be hiding the same thing. The overly noisy might also be the same thing. The center of the party might be hiding from loneliness, just so we are all aware. Andrew, good morning. The fact that the person seems to be making noise doesn't necessarily mean that the person is happy. Watch out for those kids. Those kids are quite confusing for parents, but he's always the soul of the party. Well, watch for a second. Why is it every human being has a few down moments, quiet moments to reflect? If a kid is intentionally making sure they never have a down moment, then there is something they are running from. There is something they are hiding from. There is something they don't want to address. And you, as the parent, Nana, good morning, sis. Merry Christmas. Very Merry Christmas to you. I want you to understand this period is not just for eating and drinking. No. This period is for you to bond with the kids. This period is for you to observe your kids. It's for you to look for the stress indicators because they are there. They are there. You need to understand the stress indicators and be able to decipher them accurately. You need to know when your kid is actually screaming for help, even when they are not aware. Subconscious cries for help need to be picked up by competent parents this time round. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You will never know what's going on with your kid if your kid is not near. You will never understand if your kid is not close range. You will never know changes in a kid's behavior if you don't know the normal behavior in the first place. You need to be crystal clear of what is normal for your kid so that you can spot abnormal patterns. Do you know your kid enough? None of us do because they are dynamic people. They do change. But you can have baselines. You can try at least. You want them to talk to you. You do want them to talk to you. A Christmas turkey is actually a conversation starter, just in case we don't know. It's not just about eating turkey. Not just about eating turkey. It's about cooking turkey. It's about putting turkey on the table. It's about giggling over turkey. When we let her eat it, it will melt. It's about using turkey to start conversations. It's about allowing a kid to sit in your lap so you can see those little cut marks where a kid has cut themselves. It's allowing a kid to sit in your lap so you can smell the changes, which might suggest your kid is not washing properly. It is about allowing the kid to come close to you so you can see their teeth need cleaning. Some of these little things, they are little things to the rest of us, but they are big, big things when you were a teenager. When you see acne flaring up on your teenager's skin in an exam year, acne is one of the stress indicators. Did you know? When hormones rage, the kid's skin is usually one of the biggest casualties. If your kid has broken into hives all of a sudden, you want to understand. You want to go check, why is the kid responding this way? They change every day. Goodness gracious, they change every day. They make stupid decisions every day, and they make very sensible ones every day, just like the rest of us. The problem is that they are still not fully formed. And at this age, some of those mistakes can be very costly. They can be life-altering. And it is our job to make sure that we reduce those life-altering mistakes to the barest possible minimum. So I am inviting you, parents, this Christmas. You have bought Christmas presents for the kids. Thank you very much for that. You have cooked wonderful meals to share with them. Thank you very much. You have bought loads of ingredients. Thank you very much for all those things. But have you also bought time to spend with them? Thank you very much. Have you also made allowances to observe your kids? Thank you very much. Have you made observation time for the whole group to learn from each other? Have you offered time for the kids to talk to you? Have you bought time for you to share your life mission with the kids? Do the kids actually know what you are all about? Do you know what your kids represent? Do you really know what's important to them? Yes, you do want 100%, I know, but do you even understand how to help a kid get 100%? The kids who get 100% don't tend to do it on their own. Those kids have very effective support mechanisms. And those effective support mechanisms, they start with parents. They do start with parents. Waithaka, good morning. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I hope the next year is a lot kinder to us. The things that we've put in place in 2019 mature and bear fruits in 2020. So that Vision 2020 is achieved for almost all of us, if not all of us. Oh, sister, patience is very important. Therefore, it is critical. It's priceless, really, really. Anna, Merry Christmas, everybody. So I am asking you on the 24th, because it's the beginning of the merry season. Most people will have dinner tonight together, or you might go out with the kids. Most of you will put presents under trees for kids today. Do you know the most important present to put under any tree for your kid tonight is your time? The most important present to give your kid this Christmas is your love. It is priceless that you will spend quality time with those children and offer them opportunities to talk meaningfully. Opportunities which allow them to talk and know that they are listened to, and the feedback is used to inform life going forward. Opportunities for them to observe you closely and learn from you. Opportunities for them to be tutored by the very, very best, because believe it or not, you are the best teacher for your kid. You are his best mentor. You are his best cheerleader, but you cannot cheer something on that you don't know anything of. Most of your kids have done mock exams, and a lot of kids have got serious ramifications from mock exams. Most of your kids are scared. They are petrified of the exam coming up because the mock exams did not go the way they wanted to, because the kids have not quite got prepared the way they should. But your kid is at a point where they have absolutely no idea what else to do, because they spent all the time revising, but they did not understand exam strategy. They did not understand revision techniques. They only know reading from a textbook. It takes you. It takes you and the people you hire to help. It takes you and the resources you provide. It takes you and the opportunities you create, which help your kid to be able to maximize the potentials they have in order to be able to deliver what you give. Many of you have aspirations. You have demands. I want an A star. Do you know how to support a kid to get one? Do you even realize that it takes support to get those grades? Time is critical, Sister Pat. Time. Your attention is vital. So I wanted to spend this morning preaching this simple message. No, it's not a gospel. It is a common sense message that we all know, but we all forget every now and again. So before we got busy, before you went to the kitchen, before you went to the shops, before you spent hundreds and thousands of pounds, of dollars, of whatever currency you spend, creating artificial atmospheres that might not be appreciated by the very people you are hoping to impress, pause. Look at those kids. Check them out and see what they need, and make sure what you are providing addresses a need, not a want, a need. Because some of the stupid presents many of us will go off and buy are not even wanted by the kids. They are not needed by the kids. They are not important to the kids, and it makes you look stupid when you give them things they don't want. You create a problem. It's difficult for them not to tell you that what you gave them is not wanted, so they will pretend. But in honesty, they want something else. In honesty, they need something else. In honesty, you should be investing your time, effort, and money on other things that are more worthwhile. Do you know what your kid needs? Talk about good morning, good morning. May this message fall on productive ears. Amen to that, Sister Patience. So yes, I didn't do it yesterday on purpose because I knew the Christmas season actually does kick off today. Most people will either finish work today, or you may have a half day, or don't go at all. Definitely tonight we will be cooking elaborate meals and spending time round tables of nobody talking to anybody. Watch your kids at the table. Speak to your kids and pay attention to the responses they give you. Look closely at their skin, because it's as ridiculous as that, but the kid's skin is a good indicator of pressure. When pressure becomes unmanageable, kids break up into all sorts of acne flares. Those things tell you that your kid is stressing beyond manageable limits. And when you know, most of us will do something about it. Seek support for them when you feel and you know that you are not the best person to deal with that immediate need. But in totality, you are your kid's best mentor. You are your kid's best teacher. Long life and prosperity to all of us. Merry Christmas, my brother. May the year ahead be better, and may all the work we've done in 2019 pour out and bear fruits in 2020, so we see our visions materializing. It's really important to me, very critical for me, in fact, that I got this message in today. So I'm praying and hoping that it's a very short broadcast. I don't want it to be long. That if I make this very short broadcast, that I keep it here. And I ask you to be generous and to share the message and to repropagate to other places. Make sure other people you know, every parent you know in your network gets to see this message before the Christmas turkey. You would have given me the greatest Christmas present ever. I pray that your time is spent meaningfully. Live in praise. Good morning. Good morning. And I could say good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, and to a more prosperous new year, a happier new year, a healthier new year. I talk about a variety of things. This morning, I have a few other things to talk about on the other platforms. But for now, I wanted to start with this on I Need Signs. Please take 3 days and allow your kids to relax, enjoy, entertain. And also, when those 3 days are done, start helping your kids to revise, prepare, educate themselves. Look for resources. As you buy them textbooks, as you buy them uniforms, and as you buy them other things, also look for the psychological support that your kids might need to be able to cope with the pressure, because it is a lot of pressure. If I am your kid's teacher, know that I'm going to push your kid to breaking point in my subject alone, because it is my job. And if your kid's math teacher is anything like me, they are going to push them to breaking point for that subject alone. Be clear that the English teacher would also be pushing. Even the psychology teacher will also push. Funny, catch 22. Psychology teacher will push your kid and push them to psychological breaking points sometimes, because that's our job. We need to pull every little bit we can out of your kids. For you and your kids' future, we will. But sometimes when everybody is pushing with only their agenda in mind, it becomes a bit much. And so you, with the overview of your kid, will be the best person to help balance, to help maintain, to help manage. So yeah, on this page, I am completely different. This is a very serious page. I don't mess on this page because what I discuss here is not for entertainment. What I discuss here is life altering for a lot of people. And I'm hoping that this alters your kid's life for the better. Nanaya, I see you. Some of you do need to sit down with your kids because time management is difficult for teenagers. You need to sit down with your kids and physically make a revision timetable. If your kid is like that, please know your kid's need and make sure you are addressing it, you are meeting it. Some of you need to sit down with your kids and work out which textbooks they need. And please do go out and buy those textbooks as Christmas presents for the kids. Those sneakers might not be a need. The textbook, the revision guide, the flashcards, the things they need to study are needs. Address those things whilst you are generous and want to buy things for your kids. Some of those kids, they just need somebody to talk to. So you facilitate somebody they trust. And if you can't find it for free, you dip in your pocket and you find them a mentor. Somebody who talks through the week with them. Somebody who helps them make plans. Somebody who keeps them on the straight and narrow. Somebody who coaches them and cheerleads them to victory, because it's very necessary. I cannot predict what your kid needs. Only you and your kid will know that. Sit down this period, talk, and make sure you are clear what needs to be done. And I pray that you also have the good sense to go out and do what needs to be done. My love from my family and myself to you. A very Merry Christmas, but a very thoughtful Christmas as well. Catch you soon. Bye.